Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. I am one of your hosts, Memo, and right beside me, I've got Hoops. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Overall, I've been doing all right, just trying to get through pretty busy week, but overall just getting through and surviving. How you doing?
Essentially the same thing. I'm just trying my best to survive. I'm just constantly stressed and tired. Hopefully, that'll end soon. But yeah, it's been a very busy, long week for me. I'll say. Um, But yeah, enough of that. Like, let's just change the topic a little bit because this is a basketball podcast after all. So we got some basketball to talk about. Um, we're gonna go over the standings, and we're actually gonna go over some news first because the news this week have been pretty interesting. Or one not so interesting, as actually kind of on the sadder side, but the other one is on expansion. That's something that I'm excited to talk about. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll do a W and L list afterwards. But yeah, as always, let's start off with the standings. Just see where everybody's at, especially now that we've got two Western teams clinched a spot in the playoffs, and I believe it's your turn for reading out the West, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, I'll have you do
So
that.
starting with the Western Conference standings. At number 15, we got the Kings at 18 and 53, eliminated from the playoffs. At number 14, we got the Jazz at 21 and 49. They are also eliminated from the playoffs. At number 13, we got the Mavericks at 23 and 47. At number 12, we got the Pelicans at 25 and 46. 11 Grizzlies, 24 and 44. 10 Warriors, 33 and 36. 9 Blazers, 34 and 36. 8 Clippers, 34 and 36. 7 Suns, 39 and 31. 6 Nuggets, 42 and 28. 5 Rockets, 41 and 27. 4 Timberwolves, 43 and 27. 3 Lakers, 45 and 25. 2 Spurs, 52 and 18. And sitting atop the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City Thunder at 55 and 15. So those are the Western Conference standings.
Now for Eastern Conference at number 15, we've got the Pacers with a 15 and 55 record, 14 Wizards with a 16 and 53 record, Nets at 13 with a 17 and 52 record. All of those teams are eliminated from playoff contention. 12 Bulls 28 and 42 record, Bucks at 11 28 and 41 record, Hornets at 10 with a 36 and 34 record, Sixers at 9 with a 38 and 32 record, Heat at 8 with a 38 and 32 record, Magic at 7 with a 38 and 31 record, Hawks at 6 with a 38 and 31 record, Raptors at 5 with a 39-29 record, the Cavs at 4 with a 43 and 27 record, Knicks at 3 with a 45 and 25 record, Celtics at 2 with a 46 and 23 record, and Pistons at number 1 with a 50 and 19 record, and it's, I believe, the first time in a very long time since they've had 50 wins in a season. So shout out to the Pistons. Also shout out to Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, and Cavs for having a playoff spot. But yeah, that is the standings. We are now gonna jump into some NBA news, and I'm gonna start off with the lighter story, the more fun story, which is the fact that very soon, around like the end of this month, the NBA will be voting on whether or not to add two expansion teams, Seattle and Las Vegas. And if this ends up panning out, we get to see these teams by the 2028-2029 season, which is honestly pretty close and very exciting. Um, they will vote to explore this expansion occurring in late March 2026, and the league aims to expand to 32 teams. So I think this is a very fun news. We've had 30 teams in the NBA for how long? Like, what was the last team to be added? Was it the
I'm pretty
Canadian teams, the Raptors and Grizzlies?
it.
Was it
Okay, so I'm
Hornets?
actually, I think it might have been the Bobcats
Okay,
in
I'm kind of
two
thinking
thousand
that as
two
well.
thousand four. I think it might have been.
Either way, it's been a long time since we've
Yeah,
added new teams, and I'm excited not only for the Sonics to be back, but we got like a completely new team with Vegas coming in, and since those are two Western teams, one of the teams from the West are gonna go to the East, um, with rumors of either it being Memphis, Timberwolves, or uh, Pelicans. Um, I kind of want to see the Timberwolves in the East because they'll be one of the best teams in the East for sure. And I think like traveling wise, they are very close to a lot of the Eastern teams. Like they're closer with the Eastern teams than with the closest Western team, which would be OKC. So that's my thoughts on that. But overall, I'm very excited. The fact that there's gonna be 32 teams, that's a good number to have, especially like NBA Cup wise. We like the Adam Silver likes his tournament. Imagine having a March Madness type tournament in November, where it's every single team just one game, see who advances to win the cup. That would be sick. That would be very sick. So I'm clearly very excited about this. The NBA needs something new, something fresh. And, part of me was hoping that maybe a Mexico team would have appeared because that was one of the rumors. You can't go wrong with Seattle and Vegas, especially since Vegas has a very successful WNBA team, like uh, talent wise, they have Asia Wilson, who is like the goat right now. She's insane. Um, so yeah, just bringing more basketball over there, building the basketball culture in Nevada, it will be really cool. So yeah, I've done a good amount of yapping. What are your thoughts on all of this? Because I find this very exciting.
honestly, a lot of the same opinions as you. I think that adding two more teams to the league would be good for the league. Honestly, um, expanding from 30 to 32. Um, Obviously, bringing back the Supersonics would be really cool. We bring back the Sonics, we potentially have a Seattle versus OKC rivalry, the
Yeah,
former franchise
and like
versus the new franchise.
the OKC like history, like that was part of Seattle, will go back to Seattle. So Seattle will have the one chip. OKC will have only one chip as
Yeah,
well, not two.
and as they should, I think,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
like I do not think of like Supersonics history to be a part of Thunder
I don't think
history.
anybody does, but technically
Yeah,
that's what's like happening.
yeah, like yeah, I agree. Like technically speaking, but yeah, I feel like in most of our eyes, we could agree that OKC's first real championship was the one they won last year. Now I will say, of course, because that's like technically a different, like it's a part of the same name, but it was a part of different ownership. It kind of gives like an asterisk feel a little bit, like it's the Supersonics, but it wasn't under the same ownership. So is it really the same franchise? There could be like a little bit of debate there.
Well, the
But
fans are gonna be
technically,
the same,
yeah,
so
the fans are going to
that's
be the
that's
same.
what's
So
gonna matter the most at the end of the day.
definitely, yeah. So yeah, I think it'd be great for the league. Bring two extra teams to the league, as you mentioned. Um, Vegas also having become a pretty good sports town now. I mean, like back in like 2016 prior, no sports teams in Las Vegas. Now they're about to have a team in every sport. I mean, first they got the Golden Knights in NHL. After that, they added the Aces for WNBA. and then the Raiders relocated to Vegas, and then the A's relocated, and then potentially now they get an NBA team. So they're about to go from no professional sports teams to one professional sports team in every sport, in the span of less than 10 years, really. It'd be 9 years technically if you talk about like when the Knights first came around. So that'd be pretty crazy, a decade for the city of Las Vegas if they're able to get an NBA team in the fold. Um, yeah, and I think definitely really cool. If they were to do the 32 team league, I feel like probably what they'll have to do is they'll have to follow the NFL's format. Right now, currently, the NBA has three divisions in each conference, five teams each. If they could do 32, I think the way to go is to do four divisions, four teams each, and coming up with the names would be interesting. But yeah, I will say this: for the longest time, I was thinking that Memphis should be the team to move east because geographically speaking, Memphis is in the east of the U.S. Like Tennessee is in the east, clearly not the west. However, after like looking at things a little bit more in depth, I do agree with you. Like Minnesota is way closer to a bunch of the other East teams. So it would just make more sense for them to move to the Eastern Conference for that reason. Geographically speaking, Memphis is clearly more east, but like the location of where the teams lie, I think it would make more sense. So Minnesota can potentially travel less, because I think technically speaking, they probably are the team that travels the most in the league right now. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but seems like it. I mean, they're in the literally the middle of the country, Midwest. So, yeah, a lot of traveling. And I do agree also that if they were to move east, they have a much better chance of like getting out of the conference, and that could also that'd be fun. I mean, they can have less competition to potentially get to the finals. I mean, we see the Timberwolves get to the Western Conference Finals 2 years straight in a stacked conference. Imagine what they can do in a lesser conference. Like, sky's the limit, honestly, probably. So yeah, I think definitely expanding the league would be good for sure, and potentially form some fun rivalries. And if it's the Timberwolves, potentially a better chance at winning a championship one day. So yeah, we shall see what happens. Um, Hopefully the expansion gets the green light.
Yeah, I really hope so. I forgot to mention that there will be an expansion draft where like, the teams will keep their like what like top 8 players, but then like the rest could be drafted into the Vegas or Seattle team, so they can have players as well. Um, uh, that'll be interesting to witness because like as we mentioned, the last expansion team was so long ago. This is the first time where we actually get to experience like NBA history like this, um, with like actually being there, right, witnessing and not just like reading about it. So, seeing how like the draft works, seeing how all the changes are gonna happen to probably the playoffs, the NBA Cup, the division split ups. Um, it's gonna be very interesting to see that all unfold. And as a NBA super fan, NBA nerd, like I'm like geeking about this. Like this is very exciting for me. So yeah, clearly we've got the Seattle SuperSonics back. What do you think they're gonna name the Vegas team?
I have no idea, honestly. Um, Now I do remember several years back there were like also, I mean, there's been rumors for a long time about like expansion, but it just never seemed like serious for a while. I do remember several years ago, I saw like a concept for like a potential Las Vegas team brand name. I don't remember what it was, but Yeah, it would be very interesting to see what it could be. Now, I'm gonna say this: if I can give them a name that I think can like fit the city, low key, Las Vegas gamblers, maybe like a gambling.
It's
I
very
mean,
on the nose.
I don't think the league would endorse that though,
Especially
because
after the Chauncey Billups stuff and
yeah,
all that.
anti-sports betting. Yeah. Um yeah, quite honestly, I just don't know like what name would make sense, honestly. It's kind of hard to think about.
Yeah, it would have been cool if they were like the Kings, like like a deck of card Kings, but we've already
Oh,
got a Kings.
um
Um,
makes the Sacramento Kings change their name so Vegas can steal
I
theirs.
mean, might as well. They haven't done anything as the Kings.
Yeah,
Like they should be demoted to
definitely.
the Jokers, the Jags.
Yeah. Okay, I saw this one Reddit thread that was listing possible Las Vegas NBA team names. You want me to just read them for fun?
Yeah, yeah. We'll pick our favorite.
Okay. So these are the names. This one person's oh actually this was from Bill Simmons. Yeah. So this is what he said. With the news of Vegas getting a team, what will the name be? Sucks that WNBA took the Aces because that would have been perfect. My suggestions. All right, so here's a list. High rollers, lights, scorpions, devils, jokers. I'm not gonna lie, jokers sounds like a badass name.
Oh,
Imagine
you
if
like the Jokers? I didn't like that one
I mean, look, I feel like it low key doesn't make sense, but then like it sounds funny.
because Jokers are
Like,
clowns,
yeah,
right?
true. And then like imagine, it'd be really funny. It's like imagine Jokic owned that franchise every time playing them, so he could be like the owner of
uh,
the
the
Jokers.
king of
Joker
the
is the owner of the
Jokers.
Jokers. Yeah, no, but like all jokes aside, out of those options, I would say probably high rollers makes the most sense. But
That probably makes the most
I don't know.
sense. Um,
Scorpions
they
could
got those.
maybe work, but
I was
like
thinking about that. I was also thinking, like, I've heard this said elsewhere, but like the Vegas Vipers. But does Las Vegas have Vipers? Like, I'm sure they got
oh,
snakes, but do they have Vipers
I think I
specifically?
did hear about that one. But I don't know much.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be an okay name. I remember back in the day, the back in the day there used to be a D League team named the Vipers, Rio Grande Vipers. It was the
Uh,
Rockets D League team back in the day, but I don't think that name is in use anymore. I mean, even if it was, it wouldn't matter if a pro team used it.
well,
G League name.
apparently, the Vegas Vipers were a professional American football team based in Las Vegas for the XFL League.
Mm.
So
Hey, I
that,
guess bring back the name, but change
yeah,
the sport. Yeah. Oh. um. Okay. Yeah. Out of those names, maybe I saw someone said the Sinners.
that's kind of badass. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
they're not gonna
kind of.
go with it because of like
Yeah.
religious people and stuff, but like the sinners, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Imagine.
Well,
Lost
Bill Simmons, you said he mentioned the Devils, didn't he?
Devils. Yeah.
There's teams that have like devil mascots out there, right?
Yeah.
In
Duke
other
Blue
sports,
Devils.
there we go.
Arizona State Sun Devils. New Jersey Devils, the hockey team. Um, yeah, that someone wrote Las Vegas Wild Cards.
That's actually kind of cool. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, someone said the dice.
That was more lame. What are we doing?
That one's a little bit practical. Um, I don't. This one doesn't necessarily like have any relation to like the city. I don't think, but someone wrote Las Vegas Rhinos.
That's so random.
Las Vegas Steelers. Las Vegas Chips. I read. Oh, okay. Seems like those are the main ones I'd be seeing. So
Yeah, so far, wild card is my favorite. The wild
probably, yeah. I
cards.
think, I think wild card low key, and I kind of like the high rollers one, and the Joker's one is more like comedy than good. I think. But yeah, we shall see soon. I guess.
All right. Should we move on to the next story?
Yeah, I think we can move on to the next story, which is unfortunately not as exciting.
Yeah, this one's not very fun. It's the Cade Cunningham news that was announced this morning. I think it's the first thing I saw in the like I was on Twitter, and then it popped up that Cade Cunningham has a collapsed lung. I remember recently, like he got injured mid game, and tried to play through the injury, but like head to the locker room. But I don't think anybody expected a collapsed lung. Due to this, he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks, meaning that he will miss at least 8 games. And however, there is some optimism that Cunningham will be back in time for the start of the playoffs, which begins on April 18th. It's coming up very, very soon, a month away, basically. So this is unfortunate because this has been the Pistons' best season in so long. As mentioned earlier, they've received their 50th win of the season, which they haven't done that in, I think, decades at this point. Um, and Cade Cunningham, although I don't entirely agree with this, since I have my guy that I want to be in the race more than he is, but like Cade Cunningham is a MVP contention. I prefer Luca. I think Luca should be a lot higher than Cade, but everybody's saying Cade over Luca. Uh, but I digress. That's how great of a season Cade is having. He is in contention for the MVP. Will he win it? Probably not. But he's in the conversation. He was likely going to be first team All NBA. And there's a good chance that he might not be able to get any of these accolades due to this injury and due to the 65 game rule. So yeah, let's see. How close are the Celtics? They're kind of close. There could be a possibility where the Celtics take over the Pistons, um, for the number one seed if everything goes poorly. We know Cade Cunningham is that guy for the Pistons. So yeah, I'm concerned for many reasons. I'm concerned about Cade's health, like a lung collapse. Like I'm no doctor, but that sounds crazy. That sounds scary. So
Yeah.
like health wise, I'm concerned. Um, Seating wise, I'm concerned for the Pistons. Playoff wise, I'm concerned. This is not fun news, but yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Mostly the same as yours. Very unfortunate news. Collapsed lung definitely sounds very scary to say the least. Um, because like I don't know what really led to that happening. But yeah, I say definitely take it slow is the right move for both Cade and the Pistons. Um, Obviously prioritizing his long-term health, trying to get him more so prepared by the playoffs if possible, as opposed to rushing him back. Definitely a good idea. And I will say, I don't know how many games they've played this year without him, and I don't know how they've fared in those games without him. But just by hearing that their best player is going to be out for an extended time, definitely does sound concerning. And yeah, they currently have a 4-game lead over the Celtics, but that could like change in an instant if things go south. Like for example, they go on a 4-game losing streak, Celtics go on a 4-game win streak. Then things are like practically a wrap there. So like, yeah, it's definitely definitely concerning there. Hopefully the Pistons can hold their ground and still maintain the 1 seed. Like if they can at least have like, I was gonna say if they could have a 500 record, but like I don't know if that would be enough, especially knowing how good Celtics have been playing. So it's it sounds very challenging. They probably have to be like over 500 to finish the season. Um, but yeah, I think that like if the Pistons can not hold their ground, unfortunately, they might end up wasting a promising season. But if they are able to like hold their ground within the remainder of the season without Cade, and then they get him back in the playoffs, they might be just fine. But I feel like even when Cade was here, I knew that this team was good, but I just didn't know if I could trust them in the playoffs. Like, so now it kind of just puts an even bigger red flag. So I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll prove us completely wrong, but right now it is looking a little bit cloudy in Detroit, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I wasn't expecting them to win the finals this year, but I was expecting them to go at least to the second round, likely to the conference finals. But yeah, if this situation does not improve, then I will feel very sad for the Pistons fans out there. So, hoping for the best. Hopefully, Cade feels better soon and everything's all right. Um, but yeah, let's move on to the WNL list. We got a few teams and some other small stories to go over. We of course got to talk about the Thunder. They're on a 10-game win streak. They're doing insanely well. It's the Thunder. Like what else do I need to say?
Yeah, as you said, 10-game win streak, 55-15 record, best in the league. During the 10-game win streak, they beat some solid teams. They beat the Nuggets twice, once at home, once on the road. They also beat the Mavs, Bulls, Knicks, Warriors, Celtics, Timberwolves, Magic, and the Nets. Um, as mentioned, best record in the NBA, and they have a 3.5 game lead over the Spurs for first in the West. So everything is looking very great over there. And if they keep it up, they're proving a very good case of potentially winning back to back. I will say this though. Obviously we all know that the Thunder did have to go a stretch without Shea, and they held their ground. So if the Pistons were able to like somehow do something like that, what the Thunder did without their best player, um, then they'll be okay. But the question is, can they? Who knows? Just a brief, I guess, connecting dots there about like the two teams in the top spot of the conferences having to go a stretch without their best player. But yeah, as for the Thunder, things are looking great, and they are 1 month away from about trying to defend their title. So um, they're not going to be an easy out for anyone.
Yeah, not at all. Like this team is in sync. They of course have a leader like Shea that comes through on a night to night basis, but they have talent to win without Shea as well, which is the scary part. I'm wondering if you saw the clip recently of Alex Caruso getting a block with his shoe. I thought that was funny.
Oh, um, I did see that, but they didn't call anything, right?
I think they
Apparently, it's
called a
legal.
tech.
Oh, did they call the tech?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So actually, I heard about it, but I don't think I actually saw the clip. But damn, I okay, I will say this. I feel like maybe a tech could be a little bit overboard, but at the same time, like he probably shouldn't be using the shoe because that is a little bit of a hack.
Yeah, maybe you hurt
So
someone. You never know.
yeah, actually, now that I think about it, a tech might make sense because like otherwise the player just is just gonna do it again. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a good way of making sure the player doesn't do it again. But yeah, I did hear about that. That was funny. Fortunately for him, though, it didn't hurt the team in any way, so they were fine. But yeah, things are looking very good over there in OKC.
Yeah, and things are looking good for our Lakers. Our Los Angeles Lakers are on a game or 8 game win streak. They've been on a heater. More specifically, though, Luka Doncic. I went on a rant on how he should be in the MVP race, and he just proved my point. He's putting up Kobe numbers. He last week we talked about his Lakers career high. He just surpassed that today. He is the first Lakers since Kobe's final game to get a 60 bomb. Dude, thank you, Nico. This is the greatest gift a man has ever given me. Anybody has ever given me. Like, dude, Luca's so good. I don't care if he can't play defense, or even though I feel like that's been over exaggerated. And so, this man is insane. He's killer. Like, did you see him just? Who was guarding him? Jabari Smith Jr. He just tweet, step back, tweet, step back, three for basically the win. Like this guy is unstoppable when he's on a heater like this, and especially if like a fan is talking shit too. There was several times I felt like this week where like someone from the crowd is talking shit, and he just switched it to gear and went like Kobe mode and like broke their hearts right in front of them. So yeah, this is awesome. This is so cool. They're in the third seed. They are, they're thriving at like the right time. It's almost the playoffs. They're just in such a great groove, and the teams that they've won, yeah, we have some like weaker teams like the Bulls and Pacers, but there's the Knicks, Timberwolves, Nuggets, and the Rocket twice. Like those are great teams. Um, so yeah, I'm very happy with our Lakers right now.
Yeah, absolutely. For a while we were talking about like how this team was like for whatever reason couldn't really get it together. We were like barely about 500 since middle December. But don't look now. These last 2 weeks, the Lakers have been looking amazing, the way we like it, and more like how the Lakers looked in the beginning of the season when they started off good. Um, as you mentioned, 8 game win streak, beat the Pacers, Knicks, Timberwolves, Bulls, Nuggets, Rockets twice in the Heat. Best part about it, we beat several good teams here, 2 weak teams and 5 good teams. So yeah, safe to say the Lakers have been looking legit lately. Hopefully they can keep it going and carry that momentum into the playoffs. Um, we'll say, yeah, Luca has been amazing. Last week he put up a 50 bomb. Today he put up a 60 bomb, and he put up several 40 bombs and high 30 bombs. And opposing fans need to just stop talking because um, one thing we learned is you poke the bear to Luca, you're gonna have to pay for that. And man, has that been the case every single time here. Um, thankfully, there's no clown ref moments like that OKC fan from last year. Remember that dumbass that like Luca was like chirping back at the OKC fan, but the refs thought he was doing it to him and they ejected Luca. That was dumb. Um, yeah, thankfully refs are not blind enough to think that this time. But yeah, Luca has been amazing. Um, AR has been playing well. Braun has been playing pretty well
He's been
too.
great. I think he got a triple
Yeah,
double today.
yeah, got a triple double today. Yesterday, he shot damn near perfect from the field. He was like 13 of 14. Um, Aiton has been playing better too lately.
After he
Um,
said that he was not that guy.
yeah, I know it was funny. We actually got to see that matchup, Aiton versus
Clips.
Capella
Yep.
on Tuesday because I mean on Monday because Shengun was out that game. I will admit, like, if you look at the box score, Aiton's stats were not that impressive that game. But at the end of the game, he made some key plays to help us win. So I would say Aiton does deserve some credit for sure. Um, but yeah, I will say this. It's definitely been these last few games have been very fun to watch. Um, I mean, obviously, Knicks were our good team to beat. Timberwolves a good team to beat. The Nuggets game was really fun. Beat them in overtime. Did you see Austin Reeves' perfect missed free throw rebound
Oh my
and
god, that was
then forced
beautiful.
overtime?
He's been amazing.
That was beautiful.
I
Yeah.
think
Yep.
he just recently made like he's fifth all time in Lakers 3-pointers made, I believe.
Ooh,
Which is
okay.
impressive. He's been a Laker
It
for like
is.
5 years and he's already top five in 3-pointers made.
Yeah, I know that is really impressive. I'm like kind of wondering if that it either means that one, how impressive he is, or two, what if it just means like Lakers haven't had as many great 3-point shooters as we thought?
A
I
little
mean,
bit of both, I guess.
maybe a little bit of both,
I
but
bet D'Angelo
not to take
Russell's
credit
in
away
the
from
top
him.
five. Like that's how uh,
Who?
I I'm
D'Angelo Russell, right?
I think
Oh, I think he is. Yeah. Matter of fact, was KCP also, which is kind of
KCP.
crazy because I think he played like fewer seasons as a Laker than Reeves technically.
I'll look it up.
I mean,
Um,
well, KCP played 4 seasons as a Laker, um, but I think
okay,
like
I was
Derek
wrong. You wanna give a guess on the top five?
top five.
I'll say the D'Angelo Russell is wrong and the KCP is wrong.
Oh, okay. Um, Let me guess. Robert Horry was one of them.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Think longevity for most of them.
Longevity. Oh, okay. Let me think. Um,
We got
okay.
Austin
Kobe,
Reeves. We got
obviously.
Kobe. That's
Yeah.
two of the five.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna guess LeBron there because he's played for us several years.
LeBron is there. LeBron is there. Two more.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's see who else might be.
One of them's kind of obvious if you really think about it.
Oh, Derek Fisher maybe.
Yup, Derek Fisher. He's third all time. LeBron's second, by the way.
Okay.
And then one more.
Okay. One more. Let's see. James Worthy maybe.
Not James Worthy. Was he even a shooter like that? I don't think so.
Probably not, honestly. That was just a wild guess. I know he was like a small forward, I think.
Small
Yeah,
power
but I don't
forward.
think he was really a shooter though. Maybe back in the day, small forwards were like more like half half.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Let's see. Who Jerry West?
Not Cherry West. This guy, I believe, made a All Star game, but like hasn't made a lot in his career.
Okay.
But
Let me think.
like I believe casual fans don't know him, but like if you're an NBA fan, like you'll consider him a legend. I feel like
Let's see. A legend that casuals might not know, but let's see.
maybe a
Um,
legend is like pushing it, but like he is a pretty good player, a pretty great career.
let's see.
One time All Star, played for multiple
Okay.
teams.
Lamar Odom?
No, he was unfortunately never
Rick?
an All Star.
Yeah, Rick Fox.
No, I don't think he was an All Star either.
I don't think he was. I was just making a wild guess. Hmm. Let's see. Did he retire a while ago or not too long ago?
Yeah, he retired in 2006.
Oh, okay, a while ago. Let's see.
13-year
Um,
career. He was a guard.
Nick Van Exel.
Nick Van Exel, number 4 on the list.
Yeah. Okay. I think I do remember Nick Van Exel was pretty high. So, yeah, that's a good lineup then. All right. So, in summary, Kobe, LeBron, Austin Reeves, Derek Fisher, and Nick Van Exel.
Yup.
Okay, not bad. So shout out to Austin then. I would say that's pretty good company.
That
Do you
is.
know? Do you know by chance who he passed to get up into the top five? Like who was originally in the
Um,
five spot?
I'll try to look for it,
I'm
but
curious about it, low key.
um. Oh, okay. Interesting. Former coach,
Former coach. Oh, wait. Let me think.
former Lakers coach,
Oh, Byron Scott.
Byron Scott, and then
Okay.
after
Yeah.
that is D'Angelo Russell, KCP, Kyle Kuzma, and Eddie Jones. So, yeah,
So there were
interesting list.
some low key short stinters. I mean, 4 years, but like not like that long. Oh, I will say
Luca's
this.
tied for 18 with Jordan Clarkson, so he'll be
Wait, who's
super.
tied for 18?
Luca with Jordan Clarkson.
Oh, okay. Okay, not bad. I mean, I will say like Jordan Clarkson was on the Lakers like several years longer than Luca has
He
been
was
so
there
far.
4 seasons.
Yeah. To be fair, Luca is obviously a much higher caliber. So yeah.
Yeah, Magic Johnson's 20, which
Ooh,
sneaky high, honestly.
true. Yeah.
He's not a
Like
shooter like that.
yeah. In the beginning, I was thinking like, damn, only 20, but I'm like, oh yeah, he really wasn't a shooter. So honestly, like that's not bad.
To these
But
names, I
yeah.
see Wesley Johnson in the top 3. Wayne Ellington, 34. Dalton Connect surpassed Luke Walton.
Oh, you know what was funny? When you were mentioning former Lakers head coach, I knew it wasn't Luke Walton. But then when I was thinking like, who was a former Lakers head coach and a former Laker? I'm like, I thought of Luke Walton because he was one, but I knew it
Yeah.
wasn't him because he clearly didn't shoot threes like that. Yeah. Um, but yeah, shout out to Austin for that, and shout out to Lakers for playing well lately. I will say, those all those wins felt really good. Beating the Rockets back to back felt really nice also, because that's not easy to do. Like beating the same team 2 times in a row and both games on the road. Um, those are really solid wins for sure. So yeah, shout out to our Lakers for playing well lately. Hopefully they can keep it up heading into the playoffs. If so, maybe we can win a series or two or maybe further.
Yeah, we'll see. We have a few other teams with win streaks. We'll go over this next one with a bit more detailed and then probably just barely talk about the other two. But the next one, we gotta talk about them because it's 11 games now. 11-game win streak. We talked about them last week, but we gotta keep talking about them because they keep winning. It's the Atlanta Hawks 11-game win streak. Um, to be fair, they have not been playing good teams. Probably the best team was Magic. They won the Battle of the Magic City game uh,
Yeah.
on that one. So yeah, because of this win streak, they finally moved up to the 6th seed out of play in contention. Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, very impressive to say the least. Thanks to their 11-game win streak, the Hawks have been on our W list for 3 straight weeks.
Damn.
So I I would have never expected that.
No.
Like, matter of fact, I don't think I would have ever expected the Hawks to be on the W list 3 straight weeks, even before trading Trey. Like in the offseason, if someone were to say Hawks would be a W list 3 weeks in a row and an 11 game win streak, I probably would have thought they were crazy. But yet here we are, 11 game win streak. And as you mentioned, they didn't really play like a lot of good teams, but still credit to them. 11 game win streak is 11 game win streak, I guess.
Yeah, they're doing their
Um,
jobs at the end of the day. They're winning the against the bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do.
yep, exactly. They beat several teams twice during the run. They beat the Nets twice, Wizards twice, Bucks twice, Mavs twice, all trash teams. But again, gotta do what you gotta do. And then they also beat the Blazers, Sixers, and the Magic. And I will say, a part of the Magic City game, beating the Magic, they also broke the Magic's win streak. Um, by doing so, they have also, as mentioned, moved up to the 6th seed, currently not even in the play-in, which is very good. Let's see if they can keep it there. And yeah, they have been looking solid. We shall see how much longer this can continue for.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, Maybe if they continue winning all these games, maybe Adam Silver will let them have a Magic City game officially. Replace the refs with strippers and all that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um,
Imagine.
okay. Two more teams that have a nice little win streak. Not super long, but a win streak is a win streak. We got the Knicks with a 4 game win streak. They won against the Jazz, Warriors, Pacers twice. So not crazy competition, but again, they're doing what they need to do. They're in the 3rd seed. They're creeping up. Uh, you know, getting closer to Boston. Um, they're ahead of Cleveland, right? So we've got that. We also got the Raptors 3 game win streak. Suns, Pistons, Bulls. So some good teams in there, and the Bulls currently in 5th seed. Um, they're playoff team, which is a cool sign. Doubt that they're gonna do anything crazy, but a win is a win, I guess. So yeah, what are your thoughts on these two teams?
Yeah, so I will say Knicks didn't really play a lot of good teams. Most of these teams are pretty bad, but again, do what you gotta do on your schedule, win the games you have to win, and good for them. They were able to do that. And as we say, they inch ever closer to the Celtics and get more distant from the Cavs. Hopefully, they can keep it going and maybe increase their chances of maybe jumping a spot. That'd be good. And then for the Raptors, their their 3 game win streak, I would say, is a solid one because two of them are actually against good teams. The Suns are good, in currently in playoff picture or play in really, but still like top 7, number 7, and then Pistons number 1 in the East. They beat those teams and they beat a bad Bulls team. But nonetheless, by doing so, the Raptors have moved up to the 5th seed. They were struggling for a bit, like before this week, but these last few games they have been looking good. And yeah, Raptors have had a shaky season, but it's good to see them getting back to their winning ways, at least for now. So yeah, I would say shout out to the Knicks and the Raptors for their current win streaks.
Shout out to them. A couple more winners before we move on to the losers. We've got Dell Curry, who just got his jersey retired. We talked about this announcement, I believe, months ago. Um, Definitely well deserved, not only for his nice career with Charlotte, being a 6 man of the year with Charlotte, and definitely was one of their most legendary players for that organization. But the things that he's done outside of his playing days, being their like lead commentator and all that, just very involved with the organization. So well deserved. His sons were there. Steph and Seth were there to celebrate with them. So good times there. And then Russell Westbrook just recently surpassed Mark Jackson and Steve Nash for fifth in all time assists. One of the greatest point guards of all time, in my opinion. Love Westbrook. And he's continuing to make history at season 18. That's pretty impressive. He's still doing his thing, even though the Kings suck. So, any thoughts on the last two winners?
Yeah, I will say very deserving for both. Dell Curry had a very nice career. One of the top players in, if not the top player for the Hornets in their history. So very well deserving of the jersey retirement. And very cool that Steph and Seth were there for attendance for sure. So shout out to Dell. And as for Russ, also very well deserving to be fifth in all-time assists, surpassing Mark and Steve, one of the top point guards to ever play the game, and also a huge fan of Russ, especially his OKC days. And I will say, the fact that he is in year 18 definitely makes me feel old. Because, like, okay, technically, my first full. Okay, so when I first started watching basketball, it was the 2009 playoffs, Lakers against the Rockets in the semifinals. But the first full season I watched was 09 2010, which happened to be the year that Steph, Harden, Blake Griffin were drafted. So in other words, Steph is basically like the first player I've like seen from start to finish, which is crazy still because like Russ was only drafted 1 year before, I believe. Actually, yeah, 1 year before. So like I'm just like, damn, those guys used I remember when those guys were like baby face and now they're all like on the cusp of retiring. Man.
I think.
Crazy how time flies.
What was the Julius Randle draft? What year was that?
That was 2014. So that was the draft with and the Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker, Julius Randle, Joel Embiid, Dante Exum, Marcus Smart.
Okay,
Do you
that
remember Noah Vonleh? He was a bust.
wasn't Cody Zeller in that draft.
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first season I truly paid attention. Like I watched casually, but
Yeah,
that was the season where like, okay, these are the guys. My Lakers got Julius Randle. Hopefully he ends
yeah,
up good. Uh, so yeah, it's funny
yeah,
how you talked about that, even though you started way before I did. Uh,
yeah.
but yes,
Because I know that you watched basketball before 2014, right?
yeah, yeah.
But
Like I watched the
basically you
Lakers
said,
win a chip.
yeah, but basically what you meant is like that was the first year you started like really paying attention.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, because I remember when we first met, I don't think we really talked a lot about basketball back then because we were mostly just playing during like recess and lunch. But I did know that you were also a fan. So yeah, safe to say, time goes by so quick. Like even Julius Randle is already in year 12.
Wow.
So yeah. And then funny enough, I remember Celtics had sixth pick, Lakers had seventh pick, and they took Marcus Smart, we took Randall. I remember at that time I was literally praying for the Celtics to take Marcus Smart because I just thought Randall was honestly better. And he probably is, honestly. But
Yeah,
like Marcus Smart is also pretty good. So
he's been
and he's
helping
on the
out our
Lakers
Lakers
now.
now. Yeah.
Funny enough. Yeah. So there's that full cycle. But yeah, good stuff. W to Dell and Russ.
Yeah. Now let's finally move on to the L list. We got three teams with a smallish losing streak, but you know, we still gotta talk about it. Hoops. What are the three teams?
So the three teams that made the L list are the Clippers, Suns, and the Magic. And the reasons why is because they're all on losing streaks. So the Clippers are currently on a 4 game losing streak, having lost to the Kings, Spurs, and the Pelicans twice. And Clippers have been dealing with some injuries lately. Kawhi Leonard is a bit banged up. He had to miss a few games. He missed the game against the Spurs and he missed the second game against the Pelicans, which they both lost. On top of that, Benedict Mathurin and Darius Garland are also dealing with injuries. Mathurin has missed, I think, the last 2 or 3, one of those months. But yeah, Garland has missed a few also. So yeah, Clippers are back to their losing ways at the moment. By doing so, they are once again below 500, and they are 2 games below 500 to be precise. Next team on the L list is the Suns. They have a 39-31 record now after losing 4 in a row. Losses to Raptors, Celtics, Timberwolves, and a choke to the Spurs, which they lost by 1. And yeah, they were on a hot streak. They have since cooled. They currently still maintain a 7th seed, but if they keep losing, who knows? They might get close. They're lucky the Clippers have been losing because that's kept them in their cushion still at 7. And the last team to be on the L list is the Magic. 1 week ago, the Magic were on our W list. They were on a long win streak. They were like, what, 6, 7 games, I think, something like that. And now they are on a 3 game losing streak. Um, they lost to the Hawks in the Magic City matchup. And since then, they have not won again. They lost 2 more. So 3 game losing streaks against the Hawks, Thunder, and the Hornets. So yeah, those 3 teams have not been looking very good lately after previously looking pretty nice. But yeah, is there anything you would like to add regarding any of these 3 teams on the L list?
I mean, like, how could the Magic lose on Magic City Day? Like, come on, dude. Come on. Like, I know that was for Atlanta, but your name, it's right there. That should have been yours for the taking. And now they're cursed. They were on a winning streak. Now they're on a losing streak because they couldn't win with Ti in the building, with all the wings in the building. Yeah, very unfortunate. But yeah, on a more serious note, sucks for the Clippers. What's going on for them? I am obviously not a fan of the Clippers, but the storyline is nice. They started off so poorly, and then they came back in a unbelievable fashion, even after trading their star point guard James Harden. Kawhi Leonard was looking insane. Like this is one of his best seasons. Yet now he's banged up. Several important players are banged up for the Clippers, so that part is unfortunate. And then the Suns, yeah, unfortunate for them. They do have injuries on their team. Um, it is what it is, but this overall, it's been a very successful season for the Suns. Nobody really expected them to win this many games to begin with, so yeah, they're on the L list, but shout out to them, I guess. Um, but yeah, do you have anything else you want to mention, or are we good?
I think we are good. We basically mentioned everything that needed to be. Um, and I guess looks like that would also be our episode then.
There we go.
So, yeah, as always, thanks to all the viewers for viewing our content every week. We greatly appreciate it. If you guys like our content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on all platforms. And always make sure to stay tuned because we got you guys with the weekly updates and we will also implement other fun stuff as the ways comes and you do not want to miss it. Anything you would like to add on, Memo?
Uh, Not much. Just check out the socials and make sure you're subscribed. Leave a 5-star rating and review on all audio platforms. But yeah, I think we're good here. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.